Hey everyone, this is Sean. Welcome back to my channel. Please press the like button, subscribe, share, comment. I am looking forward to the dialogue, looking forward to reading all of your comments. Please give me a like or an extra like if they had a button. It's about 105 degrees in my garage right now as I film, and it's about 25% humidity in here. It's super hot, so please press the like button. In today's video, we are going to be talking about ride-alongs, why it's so important to go on a ride-along, and my personal experiences. So before I became a police officer, I went on a lot of ride-alongs as a civilian, as a citizen. And there is this particular sheriff station that I would go on a lot of ride-alongs at. And guys, I'll tell you this. You are able to better gauge a sheriff's department's culture if you go on a ride along. You get to see how they do things, their procedures, and how they perceive the public if you go on the ride along. If you just live in the city, you can't really gauge that great how it would be like working for this law enforcement agency. But if you go on a ride along, it gives you literally a front row seat of what you can expect. And at the sheriff's department, it wasn't a good thing. The first time around, the first deputy, he basically told me, hey, whatever you see is confidential. But that was the first conversation. And it just, the delivery on that, it just made me nervous. It just made me very uneasy with this deputy. The full 8-hour shift, it just felt like it was a rocky shift. I just felt like I was not welcome in that police car. So I understand that everything that you see is confidential, but it just the delivery of everything that he told me, it just didn't come out right. Second time around, I'm not kidding, guys, it was sprinkling a little bit. Deputy told me, hey, look, I have no problem taking you on a ride along, but what I'm gonna do the whole entire shift is park up on top of that hill with a newspaper in my hand, and I'm gonna read the newspaper the whole shift. You're more than welcome to come with me. I'll take you to different calls for service if we get any, but that's what I'm going to do most of my shift. So it's up to you if you want to come with me on the ride along. So I actually told him, I said, sir, thank you very much for offering a ride along, but I'll just come another day. Because like you said, it's raining, and he told me it's raining. That's all he's gonna do is read a paper. Guys, that's the impression that he gives the community. Because it's raining, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna just go on top of this hill, read a newspaper, which might not make sense, because if it's raining, it's thunderstorming on top of a hill, I would think that you're more likely, or you're more prone to being electrocuted by a lightning bolt. But that's a topic of another story. The third time I went on a ride along was with a brand new deputy. He's only been a patrol deputy for 3 months. He's worked the jails for about 4 years. And this guy, I don't know how he passed training. Actually, he just barely, it was weeks that he got off of training. Didn't know the proper code sections to cite somebody. Didn't know his way around town. It just gave me a sense of incompetence. Guys, I got the most negative feeling from the sheriff's department, and I told myself that if I ever work for the sheriff's department, I will never ask for the station. I kid you not, about 17 years later, my uncle, who lateraled to that department, was on the FTO program, and he got into it with his FTO over there. My uncle had a lot more, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years more law enforcement experience than this junior field training officer, and they got into a verbal altercation in the field regarding something that was pretty stressful. But the whole time it was just, they were just bumping fists the whole time. And it's the same station where I was going on the ride-alongs. This is 15 years, maybe 16, maybe 17 years later. How they treat you as a ride-along is how they treat the public as well. And that is your culture. Guys, if you want to work in an area or a police department where they don't care to train you, they don't care whether or not you're successful, you're just another number, try to go somewhere else. But you wouldn't know that unless you went on a ride along. And I have a whole lot of other horror stories on ride-alongs, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. So please go on a ride-along. If you go on a ride-along, you'll be able to gauge the culture, understand more of the procedures. Some deputies, some police officers will require you to stay in the car, and some will allow you to come out of the car. I'll tell you this, my negative impressions on the Sheriff's Department is one of the reasons why I wanted to become a police officer. I told myself one day when I have a ride-along, I will not treat them the same way. I'm going to show this person as much as I can. I'm going to portray a positive image on my department. I'm going to do the total opposite of these deputies. This is just, it was bothering me for years, guys, before I became a police officer. And fortunately, I got a lot of ride-alongs in the process of becoming a police officer. I'm sorry, after I became a police officer, and I try my best to portray that positive image. I try my best not to portray those guys that gave me the ride-along some years ago. If you guys have any questions, concerns, I would like to hear your stories on ride-alongs and whether or not you've had a positive experience or not. Throughout this channel, I will talk more about ride-alongs and the process involved, the requirements. I'll be talking about Explorer programs and a whole lot of other information that will be useful if you are new to applying to police departments or sheriff's departments. You guys take care, be safe out there, and have an awesome day.